Hi, I'm Arden Kaywin, and today's episode of the Pro Singer Success Collective is all about the fastest tools for change. Stay tuned. I wanted to talk about the fastest tools for change and how sometimes the things that we think are the biggest things getting in our way are actually the things that can actually spur us into the greatest growth in our singing and our career, which is, why today I said why COVID might just be the best thing that ever happened to your singing if you let it. Because I actually know many singers that this statement is true for, that COVID has been the best thing that ever happened to their singing. And you're probably sitting there being like, why? Nobody's performing, nobody is auditioning. Like, how can I, move forward in my career when nothing's happening? And we're going to get to that. Part of this whole talk that I want to give you today is really about my favorite tool to help singers get from where they are to where they want to go. And this tool is pattern interrupts. And it's something that you may have heard of, you may not have heard of, but pattern interrupts, it's all about taking contrary action. So I thought that I would incorporate some of the training that I do with singers in my intensive program, of which pattern interrupts and contrary action are a huge part, because the same tools can be really, really helpful to recenter yourself and recommit to your craft and your dream and your purpose. And so for those of you who don't know, what we do in my program, what we do in the intensive program is all about training your mind so that it doesn't sabotage your body, your singing, your instrument, and technique. So what we do is we merge high-level technical training with proven mindful practice to take seasoned singers who, already have a lot of technique and training, but are just not where they want to be in their career and help them light the fuse that launches the rocket. And so that a lot of that work is understanding how your mind is sabotaging you and retraining it so that it doesn't sabotage the singing and the instrument and the career anymore. And these tools that we use, they also work great in everyday life too. I mean, they're really not just for singing, but that's what we do in my program. We merge this mindful practice with high-level technical training, and the tools are so powerful. And they can be applied in any setting, like I said, not just the setting of an audition or performance. And so I thought I would share with you some of these tools that we use in my program. So here's the first idea that I want to bring to you, which is this idea that you guys, there's always going to be something. Always, okay? There is always going to be a challenge. There is always going to be some challenge, something that's going to threaten to get in the way of you and everything that you want to create and do. And if you can deal with this challenge from a standpoint of love, from a standpoint of gratitude, and actually from, most importantly, the standpoint of opportunity, then you will, number one, suffer less. And number two, the way that you will respond to that challenge will be much more effective. So I am a firm believer that challenges are opportunities. They are opportunities to build muscle. They are opportunities for growth. Okay? My challenges are the universe's biggest invitation for me to step into the next thing, to step into myself and push through that resistance of what's been keeping me at one level and preventing me to go to another. So how we deal with that challenge builds that muscle, because if we see it as an opportunity, then we're spurred into resourcefulness. We're spurred into creativity. Right? We have that don't take no for an answer attitude that gets us where we go. So that's the first thing, to understand that there's always going to be challenges. The question is not how we avoid challenges. The question is how we deal with them when they come and how we view them. Whether we view them from an empowered state, this is an opportunity, or whether we view them from a disempowered state, this is going to make me fail. The second idea that I love to bring to the singers in my program is this idea of taking contrary action. So, what is contrary action? Well, it's pretty much doing the opposite of what your fear and your, crazy stinking thinking is telling you that you should do. It's very easy to be sucked into that fear and to just marinate in it. But you guys, any action that you take will get a much better result if you take that action out of gratitude, out of opportunity, out of love, than out of fear. Okay? So, for example, in singing, let's say, if you are freaked out about that high note, if it totally freaks you out, if that's what's calling up all the fears, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, here comes the high note, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you're in that fear? You're going to do one of two things. You're going to fight or you're going to run away, right? It's fight or flight. That is how we all react to fear. We have since the beginning of time. That's what we do. So if you're freaked out about that high note and you go into the flight, you're going to back away from your support, from all the technique that you know, from trusting your body, from trusting the moment. You're going to back away. And then guess what happens? You actually create that bad high note that you were scared of making in the first place. Your fear actually created and manifested the thing that you were scared of. And the same thing happens if your reaction is to fight, because then you're going to kill that high note. I got to prove I can do it right. And you look at my fist. This is what your body does. Control, force, manipulate, right? And that also kicks you off your trust, your support, your body, your instrument. And now you're in that fight fear reaction, controlling, forcing, manipulating. And so you overblow the note. And now you've actually created the bad high note you were scared of making in the first place also. Okay. So the fear is preventing you from making a centered decision that's aligned with your awareness, that's aligned with what's true. Okay. It's preventing you from making a centered decision about what to do for that high note. And it prevents you from trusting your technique, from trusting your body. And then you flub the note. Recognize that fear is generally the go-to in these situations. And so you get to choose not to go there anymore. You get to choose your emotional home around anything. Nothing or nobody or no situation makes you feel any which way. You get to choose. You can choose whether, well, I'm going to go there in a second. I'm going to put a pin in that, okay? Because the reason why choosing is so important is because you make better decisions. You make better decisions when you're choosing to see opportunity and gratitude versus when you're choosing to see fear. Because opportunity and gratitude keeps you in empowerment and it keeps you in alignment, keeps you in your awareness. It takes you out of your crazy fear-based monkey mind, okay? Versus aligning with the fear keeps you in reaction. And when you react, it's never good, okay? So this applies 100% to your singing journey too. When you're reacting to that fear of the high note, you create it. Versus when you stay in your awareness, then your body isn't going to go into that fear reaction and you're going to understand how to utilize the truth of your support, the truth of your instrument. And then you're not going to flub the note because you're not aligned with the fear. So this idea that I said a minute ago of you get to choose your emotional home around anything, right? It's this idea that you get to decide how you are going to respond in any situation, in any challenge. Nobody, nothing, no situation, no person makes you feel one way or another. You choose it. And this may not be a popular opinion, but I've seen it work. You get to decide. Do you want to buy into the craziness and the fear? Or do you want to see the opportunity that it is? So are you allowing yourself to stay resourceful? Are you choosing to have your highest self show up? Are you choosing to have your, what we'll call light warrior show up? Or are you succumbing to your supervillain? You know who that is. That's the naysayer, the doomsday predictor, the one who's always telling you why you can't, you shouldn't, you won't, it's not going to work, it's not good enough, okay? Are you succumbing to that? Or are you choosing, it is a choice, to have your light warrior show up in opportunity, in possibility, in gratitude. Because what you decide will determine how you come out the other side of it. So to that end, how do we do that? We ask better questions. Better questions lead to better answers. So what questions am I asking myself? Am I asking myself, what if it doesn't work? Why can't, am I focusing on everything that's wrong, that I don't have, that should be, that isn't, that what I'm angry about, right? So all these questions look like, why does she get the part and not me? Why does his album do better than mine? Why can't I get my support to show up every time I go do a high note? Why does it crack, right? All of these things are very disempowering questions because they keep you focused on the problem. They keep you focused on the contraction. They keep you focused on what's wrong. Okay? More powerful questions will yield a more powerful result. So you could be going to the disempowering questions, or you could be asking yourself, what's the opportunity in this? And see what answers show up. So here's another one. Am I going to let courage and joy show up? How can I experience joy through this process? Right? These are more powerful questions because they get you into opportunity. They get you into resourcefulness. So step up to your higher self and you will see many more opportunities when you do that. I always coach the singers in my program to expand into a challenge. When you contract emotionally and psychologically in your mindset, your body's going to follow. And then your technique gets sabotaged. And when that happens, then your sound suffers. And then you also lose your connection to your audience. And worst of all, your confidence goes, okay? And then it makes it harder to get up and do it again. And that's why talented singers quit. That's why pro singers who have put so much energy and time and effort into this give up. But the contrary action, the right response, is to expand into a challenge. Stay in gratitude, stay in opportunity, stay in love for this craft that you love so much, stay in courage. So if you've been circling around the edges of this group for a while and you watch my live trainings and you've been wanting to book a call, but you hear me give the information and you've been a little shy, what are you waiting for? Now is the perfect time to get under the hood of what's been going on in your singing, in your career. And I want to be really upfront about who this is for. So if you have not had much one-on-one technical training, this call is not for you yet. Get that first. But if you are a seasoned professional singer, you have had one-on-one professional expert training in the form of regular voice lessons for at least a year. If you have had that, and you are not seeing the results of all of that training in your career, and you are not at the level that you want to be yet with your career, your auditions are not landing, or you're not getting the gigs you want, your recordings, don't get any mainstream attention. In your quiet moments, you've started to second guess your talent. Am I really good enough? I thought I was good, but I don't know. It should be happening by now, and nothing is happening at the level that I want. If you lay in bed at night staring at the ceiling, wondering what more could I be doing to break through? And you're watching other singers who have less talent than you get the parts that should be yours. Watching other singers' recordings break through and you're like, what the hell? If you have talent and you have already had a lot of training and you feel like your career and your singing should be at a totally different level by now, then don't waste any more time. Schedule a call. We'll sort out what's working, what's not working. We're going to lay out a step-by-step strategy for you to finally step into the kind of singing that's going to create so much more of an impact. So go ahead and book a call with me. Don't be shy. And I hope that I get to see you next week back here. Okay, everybody. Bye. Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning into today's episode. If you want to subscribe, click the link right over there that says subscribe. And if you want to book a breakthrough session with me, which you absolutely should do, then click the link right over here that says book a call to schedule an appointment to speak with us. I'll see you on the next episode.